very dedicated group of people across the continent are crafting a manifesto and have crafted a set of demands on what public services should look like on our continent.
This campaign where we are reclaiming public service for all, this campaign should be held by all of the stakeholders. I can say community level, women, young people, and all of the people who are involved in the development process.
Having the Africa we want begins with everyone recognizing his or her role.
When you visit our hospitals and you see what is there, are you happy with what you see? Do you think that is the ideal? When you visit our schools, especially rural schools, those that do not have voices, the voice, are you happy with what you see? So it's basically about looking at what we are supposed to enjoy, especially as taxpayers. We do not ask for these as privileges. We don't ask for these as favors. We are asking for them as entitlement.
It is pretty devastating because we occasionally have stories of drug stock out in hospitals that it's a miracle for you to go to a public hospital and find medicines there.
This conversation about reclaiming public services is incredibly important and necessary. Privatization is a very well-acknowledged practice of corporate power. And despite the obvious evidence that it doesn't work and that it is not, in fact, providing the services that people need, in so many spaces that narrative continues.
In Zimbabwe, the government has failed to provide quality education accessible to ordinary people. You now have these small private entities, I don't know what we can call them, but they don't have a lot of money. They just buy maybe they just rent a small building in town, and then they open some kind of a school, and they say we're providing public service. But those schools are, they are terrible.
Government should not just leave the provision of these social services to the private actors, but government should be cognizant of the fact that they still bear the primary responsibilities of ensuring that social services are available. But primarily, one of the biggest issues which is provided for there is the fact that social services are a human right. Social services are not commodities to be afforded by only those that have the capacity to do so, or those that are well connected. We want everybody to be entitled to the social services which are supposed to be provided to all and sundry in Africa.
The Africa we want is one where citizens demand for quality public services and that governments adequately finance these services.
And I want us to work together to mobilize the people.
This is about you, and therefore since it's about you, you must participate in this process.